All right, welcome back to Total Disclosure, everybody. I am but merely putting this up for my safety, of course. I am going to be playing other content and commentating over it. Tonight, there is the interview with a new whistleblower who is named Jake Barber, who will be interviewed by Ross Coulthart from News Nation. So we're just going to wait. We got 5 more minutes before that starts. Why is my camera not on? I do not know. So guys, here's the deal. Now, with these kind of videos, obviously, you can get a fair use, like copyright strike kind of deal. But I've done this many other times before, and I am going to have to just give a little bit of commentary. I'll try to keep it to a bare fucking minimum for your pleasure and for mine, because I want to listen and watch too. But in order for me to have the stream keep up and stay up, I am going to need to commentate. Why is my camera not? Of course. One second. So in order to stream this, I am going to have to talk, just a little bit. And like I said, I'll keep it down to a minimum. Let me check the channel, News Nation.
A reduction in their life sentences. Their defense teams pointing to new evidence of sexual abuse by their father. The new LAPD said he is still reviewing the facts of the case. He has not yet decided if he is in support of the brothers' bid for freedom. In just 5 minutes, a new UFO whistleblower coming forward to News Nation. Stay with us.
Let's fucking go!
Whether you're moving across town or across the country, you can count on Pods to deliver when we say we will, which is why we were voted America's #1 container moving company. Book your move today at pods.com.
Oh, there it is.
Texas.
So let me pull this out for a moment.
Now Taxes is a TurboTax expert.
I'm going to mute this and I'm going to take it out. Again, this is usually not how I start a show, podcast, or anything like that. Did anyone see the TMZ UFO revolution that Corbell put up? Anyone in the comments? And yes, I am smoking. This is my night off, so you guys get me raw tonight. It's just raw Tyler. But if anyone of you saw UFO Revolution, the season 2, I do have a few things to say on that. And maybe I can do it before, or I don't think we're gonna have enough time to do it before the show, before the interview. But if you guys want to stick around after, I figured instead of filming 2 separate videos, why not just do it in one, where it's a little bit easier for me. So I have a pretty good lengthy script written out on my thoughts, and I was in the room. So I was in that congressional room. I was also in the House Oversight Committee office when Schellenberger was in there, right before the hearing, actually. And I talked to Jeremy right before the hearing started, as well as I met with Nancy Mace that same night. I walked a witness into her office as well. His name is Bob Salas. And that video is on YouTube. It's on the podcast. So if you guys have time after, because again, I don't think we're gonna have time before, then stick around and we'll talk about that and get that done. So let me stop annoying the out of people. And okay, actually one more thing, because we have about a minute. If this for some reason goes down, I'm on X and Rumble. So I've included the links, but if you go to the link to this description, all our link things are there. So you can click that and then find all of our platforms. And it would really, like I said, this video is going to get demonetized. That's okay. Maybe you guys could throw some super chats, help us out. Membership, it's all cool. Or just share, because that's free. And like I said, let's get the show on the road, though, because I do think we have about 50 seconds left. Who is ready, and what are your guys' thoughts? I do want to get that before we begin. So again, it's just on a commercial right now, guys. So like I said, I'll keep it live. I'll keep it as not me as possible. But for legality, guys, we got to do what we got to do. Got it the way we got it though. By the way, I also watched a Jason Sands interview from Julian Dory. Highly recommend that episode. The Rumble link. Let me get it for you guys. Again, this isn't a normal show. I mean, I'm an audience member for this. I just figured that it would be really cool. We used to do it when I interviewed actors. I'm a big comic book fan, comic book movie fan. Oh shit, it's starting, I think. Oh no. Okay. Well, it's 8 p.m. right now. So where are we?
Unidentified anomalous phenomena being of non-human origin.
For more than 10 years, we did recover things that were exotic in nature in the sky, and we know they were classified craft. And we recovered them and took them back to where they go.
Now that is clearly technology that is certainly not known.
I got within 150 feet of this object.
We are not alone.
We are not alone.
News Nation special report with Ross Coulthart hunting UFOs. The crash retrieval whistleblower starts right now.
Oh, here we go.
Damn, we got what we know.
Nation, Monday, the inauguration of Donald J. Trump, live from D.C. Special coverage begins at 9 with News Nation.
We will definitely not get taken down, and I'll simply, or at least I hope not, and I will overtake the stream because I can watch the preview window and make sure that it's muted for the commercials. That way, you're just less likely to get taken down. But for anyone who doesn't know, I'll turn my microphone back up while the commercial's on. So I'm going to turn my mic down as low as possible. But in order to stream something like this, you have to basically change it. So the only way you can change it is by making it like commentary. So I have to keep talking. Unfortunately, it sucks. Trust me, I don't want to. But so many people don't have access to this interview, and I want to watch it with everybody. And I don't care if they take the advertising revenue from it. They can do that all they want. They can demonetize the video, take that money. I don't care. But I think we should all be able to watch it together. This information. Sucks though, commercials. Commercials are so I don't know. I feel like they're beneath us these days. Right? With the age of streaming. We're just so far past commercials. But okay, so I think what I was saying earlier, if I have another commercial minute, I think I do, was the UFO revolution on Tubi that Corbell put out. What did you guys think of it? What did you guys think of specifically the ending, part 3? By the way, I did make a small cameo. I don't know if anyone caught that. Safe flight repairs. Again, we have to do this. Again, like I said, we have to watch the commercials because, I mean, that's just how it's being shown right now. So I apologize, but it definitely makes it easier to not feel bad about doing it. I don't know. I guess something morally changes.
Not all the side effects.
We're the old United States advertising fucking prescriptions is beyond me. The other day, I have a funny story for next commercial set because I know we'll get another one. Yeah. So this commercial came on, and it was like singing and dancing, and it was like all about diabetes. Why is it skipping? Uh-oh. One second, guys. is going on?
Depression, suicidal thoughts, or actions in patients with Huntington's disease. Call your doctor if you become depressed, have sudden behavior or mood change.
Miles in. As I came, and the
mental health was better, but uncontrollable movements called TD, tardive dyskinesia, started disrupting my day.
TD felt embarrassing. I felt like disconnecting. I asked my doctor about treating my TD and learned about Ingrezza.
Ingrezza is clinically proven to treat TD, quickly reducing TD by greater than 5 times at 2 weeks. #1 prescribed Ingrezza has dosing that's always 1 pill once daily, and you can keep taking most mental health meds. Ingrezza can cause depression, suicidal thoughts, or actions in patients with Huntington's disease. Call your doctor if you become depressed, have sudden behavior or mood changes, or suicidal thoughts. Don't take Ingrezza if allergic. Serious side effects may include allergic reactions like sudden, potentially fatal swelling and hives, sleepiness, the most common side effect, and heart rhythm problems. Know how Ingrezza affects you before operating a car or dangerous machinery. Report fever, stiff muscles, or problems thinking, as these might be life-threatening. Shaking, stiffness, drooling, and trouble with moving or balance may occur.
Take control by asking your doctor about Ingrezza.
Let's Monopoly go! Friends are like money.
Kiki, I won again?
They make everything more fun. And you can never have enough. Toodaloo!
Take a breath of fresh air with a Stanley Steamer air duct cleaning. We clean over 10 million feet of air ducts each year with our specialized trucks, built by us, removing the contaminants from your home. Your air ducts aren't clean until they're Stanley Steamer clean.
It's your home cleaner.
We got to a real Chris Bledsoe place all of a sudden. What did you guys think of the footage?
Even if you have a bit of the plan around.
I mean, it was definitely
I can see you right now. That's
interesting.
convenient.
It reminds me of the Alon Zamora story. When you guys remember, and it flashed that film thing with the pretty landing. No. And then obviously the Tic Tac. My mic's not off. I just turned it down because when the show's on, I don't want to be overwhelming. Again, so you guys got to know. So in order to stream something like this, you have to like make it your own. You have to transform the content into a commentary, or you know, basically, so you're not at fault for copyright infringement. And we don't want to do that. We just want to have a watch party. So I really do appreciate, maybe I could take this time and thank some of the people. Thank you for help and support, because they're definitely gonna demonetize the video, that's for sure. And they can take the money. I don't care. That's not.
Now Taxes is getting the TurboTax app and filing your taxes yourself 100% free if you didn't file with us last year. Pay $0 when you file by 2/18. All tax forms, all 100% free. Now this is Taxes. File free in the app by 2/18. When you switch to TurboTax, do it yourself.
I told myself I was okay with my moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis symptoms.
With my psoriatic arthritis symptoms. But just okay isn't okay.
And I was done settling.
If you still have symptoms after trying a TNF blocker like Humira or Enbrel, Rinvoq works differently. Rinvoq is a once-daily pill that can rapidly relieve joint pain, stiffness, and swelling as fast as 2 weeks for some. And
So,
the 3-year mark, many people felt this relief.
It's definitely going
joint
in
damage
a certain direction, that's for sure.
sure.
We started at like a kind of like a nuts and bolts, like
serious infections, blood
you know,
clots,
very
fatal
credible
cancers,
military,
skin, serious allergic reactions,
you know,
GI
hardline
infections,
guy,
heart attack,
and now we're
CV event risk
talking about the
increases
divine
8
feminine.
plus with
So it
disease
went
risk
from like
factors.
David
Tell your doctor
Fravor
if you've had these events,
and
infection,
David
TB,
Grush
or smoke,
to
smoke
Chris
are
Bledsoe
practical planning. Don't
in
take if allergic or
the
have an
same
infection.
interview.
Ask your
So,
rheumatologist for Rinvoq.
what do you guys think about that? Oh, the thing. So the pharmaceutical ad from the beginning, the joke from earlier. I'm surprised it hasn't played already, but it's like this lady. She has braces, and she's dancing around the store, talking or dancing, and everything's really colorful. And
When you want to invest with more
half of the
confidence,
ad
the
they
answer
spend
is
talking
choose
about
Primordial
the
Wealth
side
Management.
effects.
If you
The
have wet
most
tea
of them being
you
anal rashes and genital defects and anus like rashes. I was just blown away
could
by it.
significantly improve your
But
vision.
every other ad
And
is
more
like some
people on
fucking
Eylea
pharmaceutical.
HD had no
It's
fluid
crazy.
in the retina compared to those on Eylea
And this
for
one,
4 months.
so it's like,
Eylea HD is
take
the
care of your
only
diabetes, but
therapy that helped
enjoy that
80%
ass rash.
4
Like, what
months
the
in
fuck?
injections after 3 initial
Why?
monthly treatments. If you
It's
have an
so
eye
weird.
infection, eye pain, or redness, or allergies to Eylea HD, don't use. Eye
We
injections like
market
Eylea
them like
HD
they're
may
fucking
cause eye
underwear
infections,
at
separation of the retina, or worse,
Target.
severe swelling of blood vessels in the eye. An increase in eye pressure has
I don't know,
limitations.
for all you people that live in
Stroke,
different
stroke leading to
countries,
blood clots.
is it
The
weird
most common side
seeing
effects were blurred vision,
pharmaceutical
cataract,
ads?
corneal injury, and eye floaters. And there's still so much.
You guys know the ad that I'm
If you are
talking
on
about too.
Eylea or a similar type of treatment, ask your retina
It's a very
specialist about Eylea
politically
HD
correct
today.
cast, if you know what I mean. I don't want to say.
Our mission is to provide complete balanced nutrition for strength and energy.
Ensure with 27 vitamins and minerals, nutrients for immune health. And in clinical trials, movement disorders are
Since may increase these risks in young adults. Elderly dementia patients.
Just so we don't miss
lifestyle. That's why we do helps you full speed with my
UT working. Happened.
Well,
fast forward, but
I wish my TV provider let me choose what I pay for.
Sling let you do that.
Hey, where you going? I wish my TV provider let me choose.
I'll move on. Just think about this though. It's kind of sounds like the Michael Herrera story, but like these were the other guys, the guys that disarmed the Herrera team. It kind of sounds like they were like those stories would go together almost, if you know what I mean. But that's if you believe Michael Herrera. I've had him on the show. I do. But that's that's everyone's decision. Let me know what you think. All right, so skipping past these diabetes commercials. There's a pharmaceutical one. You gotta have one every break.
News Nation, Monday. The inauguration of Donald J. Trump.
Yeah.
Live from D.C. Special coverage begins at 9 as Blake Berman sets the stage for the big day. Then at 11, join Chris Cuomo, Elizabeth Vargas, Leland Bittert, and Chris Steyerwalt. From the oath of office to the presidential parade, we'll take you there with News Nation Politics powered by The Hill for every history-making moment. Inauguration Day coverage starts at 9/8 Central, only on News Nation. News Nation, Monday.
I'm gonna pull it back 50 seconds and pause it just in case anyone wants to read that. We'll go full screen. But wait, yeah, because I can't read the why is that in the way? Get out of the way. Is it because it's paused?
So still burning. We are live in Los Angeles with the very latest.
All right, guys. Anyway, I did ask if anyone wanted to stay after the show because I wanted to talk. Thank you. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for doing what you're doing. It was amazing. I don't know. Again, I don't know how much. That's a lot to unpack for one. It's a lot to unpack. So I'm hesitant to even make any comment on it at this time. The footage, though, what did you guys think of that? Because I think the footage, I mean, it does show something dangling at the bottom of a helicopter that's in the shape of an egg. Do I think that is qualified to be the best footage of a UFO? No, not at all. Because that could be it's you can create something that doesn't have flight control surfaces and make that video, right? And that's what's so hard about videos like this, or videos in general going forward, is you'll always be thinking of how it could be done prosaically before ever accepting what it could be. And that's okay. You know, I think hard evidence is going to be what needs to push the ball forward. You know, biologics, that kind of confirmation, right? So, okay. Anyway, thank you everyone for your support tonight. It really means a lot to me. So I did want to talk about the TMZ UFO revolution. The final episode was called The Battlefield. And listen, man, I like Corbell. I like Jeremy a lot, actually. And I envy him. Like, who wouldn't say that in this field? If you're a person who investigates and is a journalist, a podcaster, a filmmaker, if you didn't envy Jeremy Corbell and his access, then you'd be stupid. Right? Or at least you're not doing it right. You should want his level of access, his level of sway and pull and that kind of stuff. But do I think that he used it in the wrong way with UFO Revolution Season 2? Yes. I think it was a very expensive way to kind of cathartically scream into the quote unquote UFO ether, right? So some things I will say about it, because I don't want to say one way or the other, but Jeremy's, I mean, he's essentially calling Nancy Mace a liar. He's calling Congress Congress as a whole. You know, he mentions Burchett and Luna, and he kind of like separates them, but then for the rest of Congress, he's kind of talking about them all, saying, you know, they're lying. And I think he just lost a lot of his pull in that environment. Because listen, when I was there, I was let in. I think I was like the third, maybe fourth person let into the room when the hearing was about to start. Press was let in 30 minutes early. I was one of the first people through the door. Like, not, I think it was two people adding me, maybe, but Jeremy was already in the room, and Jeremy was in where his seat was. Mine was off to the right-hand side if you're looking at the members of Congress. And I could move around and change angles. So that was cool. And I could have gone into what they call the pit, which is right where, you know, right. That's how they get those good angles on the witnesses that are testifying. That's called the pit area. So that's where guys like Jesse Michaels and Yes Theory, their cameramen, that's where they were the whole time. They had multiple people doing these shoots for them, and, you know, the new paradigm. So, but I will say, before the hearing started, I want to go back even further. When I was going in to get my press credentials, I had to go into the House Oversight and Accountability, like at the office, separate office. And that's the office that he shows in UFO Revolution a couple different times. But then he also shows the House Oversight, like the room, the hearing room, which is a separate thing entirely. So when I went into the office, Schellenberger was in the office by himself with one other person. And that was minutes before the hearing, like minutes, 15, 20 minutes. So what were they talking about? I don't know. This whole 12th page thing, what I was told by a member of Congress, Eric Burleson, on the show, it's in a podcast. I just straight up asked him about this missing page. And he had said that they do not enter anything into the congressional record that promotes a certain brand, or if it didn't relate, if it doesn't relate, if it's more of a marketing material, that's usually taken off. And even though Jeremy did author something, at the bottom and in context of the article, Weaponized Podcast is promoted. So, I mean, is that reason to take it off? I don't know. Did Nancy Mace do it on purpose? Did she say that Schellenberger? Because I heard that as well. And I did do a double take, and I texted a couple people, because again, I walked in and I walked up to Jeremy. It was just like me, him, and two other people in the room. I shook his hand. I told him who I was, because on X we've had some interactions when I did the 29 Palms case stuff, and he sent me the witness, the main witness that came to him first, or that he went to, I should say. And yeah, he was very jittery. I'll say that. Very, very jittery. His eyes were going, and it's funny because I wrote in my notes about UFO Revolution, and I called it the Jeremy Corbell close up, because like there's an overwhelming amount of shots of just like his face, is just his eyeballs moving, and I was like, those were the eyes I saw at the day of the hearing. It was like his pupils were like super dilated. So I was like, oh geez, like, hey, this guy's intense. He just radiated like intenseness. And he had access that the witnesses had, like that came through like a separate door, and Jeremy was in and out of everywhere. He seemed to have more access than anybody. So I just don't know what went wrong. I don't know if Nancy Mace just fucked up and was like conflated the article with what was being entered into the congressional record. Does that make sense? So I'm like super hard pressed to say that Nancy did that. I met with her that night. I walked Bob Salas. I had originally gotten the interview for myself. I was going to produce like a little documentary about going down to the hearing, like many others did, like Jesse and all them. But I decided everyone did it, and I got to put out the Bob's house, that briefing, but that only came about at the end, like right, the day of the hearing. So I walked Bob into the interview pretty much unsolicited as well. I did not, all the emails that I'd sent to Nancy and her team, they never said, I'm bringing Bob Salas from the 1967 Malmstrom incident into your office to brief you, as well as Steve Bassett, who's a very intense man. So that was only communicated like within the hour before we met her at 8 p.m. So, I mean, I brought a witness into her office too. So, I did take a couple pauses, but he also claimed at the end that the lie, right? That the lie that they're going to tell us is that there's a craft headed towards Earth. What do I think about that? Well, that's an interesting question, right? Do I want to say yes? I've been talking about this on the podcast for so long that it's almost ad nauseum at this point to say it again. Is that's the way I think this was happening, or at least if I was a government and I knew something was on its way here, and we could track it, how they track asteroids coming to our way, they can track it down to the second, that it's going to hit our atmosphere. And could they have saw something with Hubble, and then when they sent Webb up, boom, they kind of confirm it, and that begins a timeline. And I don't know, this controlled disclosure. Do I think that that's a possibility? I actually do. Do I believe it in Jeremy's context? I don't know. And but that 2027 date has been thrown around by some credible people who I take seriously, like John Ramirez and others. So I just don't know. The whole thing is like very confusing, and I think this is what's wrong with UFO, the UFO community, is that if we disagree on something, it's like the end of the world. It begins a war, and everything's like beef with this and beef with that. It's like, no, okay. Well, and like, I don't agree with Dr. Greer, but I watch every movie he puts out because I think that we need to start listening to everybody. And you kind of wade through the bullshit, and the stuff that you roll your eyes to, right? You take what you need out of it, the little truths that kind of confirm where you're, I'm not talking about, that sounds like kind of cherry picking the narrative, but that's not what I'm saying. Is listen to everyone, hear them all out, and then make a conclusion instead of jumping on one bandwagon. I think division is what keeps us apart. And I think it's the ultimate tool that if there is a quote unquote deep state, and they are orchestrating this game called life, the one way that they would do it is by controlling the narrative and by controlling and separating people, keep them fighting amongst themselves. They never question it, right? So I think that is something that we need to take, like the story of the Tower of Babel, right? A humanity united, literally, like not just, after the world, after 9/11, like America was united. I'm talking about like the world is united, one cause. They can't, there's nothing we couldn't achieve. But when we start breaking it down, country, religion, race, sect, like we divide ourselves on the lowest, we are constantly dividing ourselves up into these little groups. And that is what keeps us from achieving what we could achieve. And I think that's an important message. So yeah, lots going on in the community lately, lots going on. And I just don't know, I don't know what's next. I don't. Let me know what you guys think of UFO Revolution. That was TMZ Studios. Let me know what you thought of the program as well. I liked it. I liked it. James Fox's new film. I thought it was really, really James Foxy, right? Takes it very seriously. And then also, we've been getting a lot of great content from creators like Danny Jones, Julian Dory, Jesse Michaels, American Alchemy. So much great content right now. So we're blessed with so many good things, so many great conversations, so many discussions, so many civilian groups that, it's just a matter of time. We're kind of far past are UFOs real. Now it's just about what they represent. And I think that's a fundamental change that's taken place since, 2017. However we got there. And, I don't know, a little bad to do some good. I don't know. This topic is very confusing. That's all I'll say. Thank you for tonight, guys. We'll see you on the flip side. I think I got Chris Bledsoe coming up next week. So that should be an interesting conversation. I just did a podcast with the estate of Ingo Swann. We dove into the life of the remote viewer and, widely considered the father of remote viewing. So that was a really good conversation. And before that, we had Eric Burleson on, Congressman Eric Burleson, and I highly recommend that you check it out. We'll see you next time. Like, share, subscribe, and thank you all for your support.